On Thursday, November 1st, Greenbelters of all faiths gathered at Mishkan Torah to express horror at the murder of 11 congregants in the sanctuary at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, and to offer condolences and support to valued members of our community.
I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. I mean, I'd kind of unfortunately been expecting something of this ilk for a while.
I did not think in my lifetime that I would feel the way I do in my own country, in my own community, and feeling that the peace I gather every Saturday when I come to pray is now shaken and I don't feel safe.
Our community is trying to figure out a way to respond to that in a way that helps us, but also helps the entire Greenbelt community.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Members of the interfaith and civic community offered prayers and pledges of solidarity.
I bring to you tonight the condolences and the pledges of unity from Greenbelt Community Church and from our denomination, the United Church of Christ. As a church and as a denomination, we denounce anti-Semitism. We denounce racism. We denounce hatred of any kind.
I want to thank you for opening your doors to the community, because like so many in this community, I wanted to be with the brothers and sisters of this congregation.
We and the residents of Greenbelt stand together with all of you in horror and shock at the massacre that took place at the Tree of Life congregation on Saturday. We pray for the families of the dead, the injured, and for the traumatized survivors of this incident.
Mishkan Torah President Stephen Mirsky wrote a poem to mark the occasion.
Embrace love, reject hate. Embrace respect. Embrace civility. Embrace kindness. Embrace an open mind. Reject disdain. Reject rudeness. Reject distrust. Reject snap judgments.
I asked for comments on the current state of political discourse in our nation.
We are really rough on each other. We are really rough on each other. And I think we heard several times tonight the importance of finding a way to be able to talk to one another that doesn't disintegrate into hateful rhetoric.
Mighty, upraised, and lauded be the name of the Holy One.
The service concluded with a prayer and sincere wishes for love to overcome hate.
But friends, we must acknowledge, but are not allowed to give in to despair, nor are we allowed to give up. Every day, we must force ourselves to counter hatred with love and to model kindness to all our fellow human beings.
I came here because I believe we're all children of God, regardless of race or religion, ethnicity, gender, whatever. And I wanted to be here with all of my brothers and sisters.
I wanted to counteract the hatred that's pervasive in our country today. And I think this was a very good forum to do that in, because it was so diverse and there were so many people here all supportive.
Andy Z here with the Greenbelt Minute.
In Greenbelt, Halloween doesn't last just one day. It started at Shrum Hill Park on Saturday, October 20th. The following Friday, a grand two-day 30th anniversary celebration began.
Thank you, everyone. Have fun.
There were balloon animals.
Wow, look at that.
Young children sat still for face painting.
Okay, what color do you want it?
And pumpkin painting.
And they painted the whole pumpkin.
It's great they have painting the pumpkins and carving them, because you can't really carve one yet.
While older kids and their parents carved out pumpkins, first cutting off the top, then scooping out the insides.
Where do I put it?
It's been a great experience, lots of music and neighbors around us, so it's fun.
Amy Nessel, busy mother of 3 children, is the coordinator for the Greenbelt Pumpkin Festival.
But it came together thanks to the help of a lot of neighbors and friends. And now we have a wonderful carving and painting going on.
Look at that!
I see it. You got lots of painting.
The heavy rains on Friday night into Saturday had the organizers worried. By mid-afternoon, the skies cleared, but the ground was soaked.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, Paul.
Oh.
Paul Downs was the chairman for the Committee to Save the Green Belt, came up with the idea of the pumpkin walk 30 years ago. Now he's running down the trail to make sure everything is ready on time.
We had a lot of rain, so I have to dump the rainwater out. But we have somebody coming from the other end of the trail, lighting candles. So we should be able to get this done, but...
Okay, be really careful not to put your hand on that blade, okay?
Meanwhile, celebrations commenced at Spring Hill Lake Recreation Center.
Look what I was this.
Wait.
Brothers proudly showed off their pumpkins. Costumes were both scary and cute. As dusk fell, the crowds grew and grew. Families trekked down Northway Road to enjoy the festive Greenbelt holiday tradition.
I walked through it like twice last year, first with Nico and then with my older son and my nieces.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. The kids had a good time. It was pretty muddy, but it was fun.
It was really great. Lots of good pumpkins. A little bit treacherous, very muddy.
It was scary, but it was actually pretty awesome with the pumpkins and everything.
I can't believe how many pumpkins were done.
Yeah, the pumpkin walk is awesome. It's beautiful in there with all the pumpkins lining the pathway. It's pretty impressive how many pumpkins are in there.
Watch your step. While adults were concerned about the mud, the kids were not.
He pops out every time, and then he eats one person. He eats one kid every time.
Eileen Murray Kraft tracking for Andy Z.
If you see yours, let us know.
It's a Greenbelt Minute.
Today, we bring you the first part of our global broadcast exclusive conversation.
The streets of Tahrir have once again been filled. People are chanting against Shafiq, chanting against the government.
Key issues here at the United Nations Climate Change Conference remain unresolved, including the future of the Kyoto Protocol.
The forests of central India and the protesters in Wall Street are connected by a big pipeline.
Kenneth Chamberlain, the 68-year-old veteran, fatally shot by police in his own home.
He was proud to be a Marine.
At every block, police are saying to the protesters to move further and further away.
I'm Amy Goodman.
And I'm Juan Gonzalez.
And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!
Democracy Now! Plays on Gate at 7 p.m. every weekday and repeats at midnight and 8 a.m. Greenbelt Access Television, Comcast 77, Verizon 19.
Hi, and thanks for joining us again for another first look at what's happening at the Greenbelt Theatre. We're joined again by Kelly, the Director of Marketing and Development over at the Old Greenbelt Theatre, and we're going to find out what's happening next. So Kelly, what is happening next?
Yeah, so we've got two great films this week. The first one is The Old Man and the Gun, starring Robert Redford and Sissy Spacek. It tells the mostly true story of a gentleman bank robber. Robert Redford's character, he plays Forrest Tucker, who at 70 years old escaped from San Quentin and went on a spree of bank robberies. But the most interesting part is he just tended to show up and show tellers his gun and say he didn't want to hurt anybody, and they just hand over money.
So that's what makes him the gentleman robber.
Yeah, and so it's just this crime spree. It's a true crime spree that happened, And it just shows this, it tells the story of, you know, him, and then Sissy Spacek is his love interest, and Casey Affleck is the detective who is trying to put him back in jail. So it's a really interesting. It's getting fantastic reviews, and sadly, Robert Redford says this is going to be his last film.
So I guess we all have to go see it if we want to see him on the big screen one more time.
Yeah.
And what's the second film that's going to be
The
here?
other film we're showing is a documentary. It's a National Geographic documentary film. It's called Free Solo. And while it sounds like it's the next installment in the Star Wars franchise, it is actually about one man's journey, quest, I guess, to climb Yosemite National Park's El Capitan. It's a 3,000-foot mountain. I've seen it. You've seen it too. And yeah, and he is free climbing, so that means no ropes, no safety net. It's just a man in his hands trying to climb this mountain.
Sounds insane.
Yeah. But the documentary explores like why he wants to do it, how he practices. He actually climbed Yosemite with ropes a few times to learn how to do it. And it is shot by two documentary filmmakers, one who is also a landscape photographer. So the cinematography is just incredible. And in fact, the Washington Post film critic says that everyone should see it on the biggest film possible. And right now, the Old Greenbelt Theatre is the biggest screen in the area that is showing this film. So we have the biggest screen in Prince George's County. It's a 40-foot screen. So if you want to see it on the biggest screen possible, you should come out and see it at the Old Greenbelt Theatre.
So two really good reasons to see these ones in theaters.
Yes, and just so everybody knows, we're probably only holding these for a week. So if you want to see them,
and the dates are?
So they're starting on Friday, so that's November 2nd, and they're running through next Thursday, the 8th. Yeah.
So Kelly, what other special programs are coming up at the Greenbelt Theatre?
We have two great things coming up in our Fall Family series. The first one is Saturday, November 3rd. We're showing Lou Over the Wall at 11 a.m. It is an anime film from Japan about a young man who meets a mermaid and the adventures that ensue after that. Then on Saturday, November 17th at 11 a.m., we have a live music performance from Barry Louis Polisar. He is actually a member of the Old Greenbelt Theatre, but he wrote the song in the opening credits of Juno. He's also written for Sesame Street, all kinds of kids programs. He's done kids TV programming, music, books, all kinds of things like that. And so we're really, really excited to bring him as a part of our Fall Family series, especially since he's a local and a supporter of the theater.
That's so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So we're looking forward to that. And then on Monday, November 5th at 1 p.m. we're showing another one of our Monday matinees, which is our classical film series. We're showing The Petrified Forest, which is a film from 1936 starring Humphrey Bogart.
How cool.
Yeah.
I've got to go see that one because I've never seen anything with Humphrey Bogart
in it. Yeah, that's a flaw in your film education.
Apparently so. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, Kelly, and thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll join us for the next What's Coming Up Next at the Old Greenbelt Theatre.
Thanks, Phoebe.
Hey, excuse me. Need some help?
No, I'm good.
Let me take a look.
You know anything about cars?
No, not really.
So, what did you say you do?
Well, that's a secret.
And why is that?
Well, because if I told you, you probably wouldn't want to see me again.
Who said I was going to see you again?
Would you? Well, let's take this place. Say it was a bank, and instead of that counter up there, that was really a teller's window, and you just walk in, real calm. So you walk right up, look her in the eye, and you say, "Ma'am, this is a robbery." And you show her the gun, like this. And you say, "I wouldn't want you to get hurt, because I like you. I like you a lot. So don't go breaking my heart now, okay?"
You're not serious.
Excuse me, I'd like to open up an account.
Well, great. What type of account do you have in mind?
This kind. This kind.
You said he was armed.
He had a gun.
You saw him.
Well, he was also sort of a gentleman.
He was very polite.
He seemed like a nice enough fella.
Look at that. Is he smiling?
5 states, 93 robberies in 2 years.
You think you can catch him?
Yeah, I won't lie. I'd love to slap the cuffs on him myself. So I hope I get the chance.
Try another city, baby, another town.
He spent his whole life locked up, except for the times that he broke out.
Somebody should have told him to quit while he was in.
Well, you find something you love.
Come following down.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
You're never exactly where you're supposed to be, are you? Now, whenever I close the door, I think, is this the last time I'll ever have a chance to do whatever that thing was?
You know what I do when the door closes? I jump out the window.
Living is a gamble, baby. Loving's much the same. Wherever.
I sat down with him once and I said, surely there's an easier way to make a living. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not talking about making a living. I'm just talking about living.
The Old Man and the Gun. Showing November 2nd through the 8th at the Old Greenbelt Theatre.
Does it feel different to be up there without a rope?
It's obviously like much higher consequence.
People who know a little bit about climbing, they're like, oh, he's totally safe. And then people who really know exactly what he's doing are freaked out.
I've thought about all cap like for years, and every year I'm like, that's really scary. I'll never be content unless I at least put in the effort. El Cap is the most impressive wall on Earth.
It's 3,200 feet of sheer granite. It's the center of the rock climbing universe.
Obviously, I get interview questions about it all the time. Oh, would you like to do that? And you're like, yes, for sure.
So you have a girlfriend now, I heard.
It was awesome. Pretty much makes life better in every way.
It's really hard for me to grasp why he wants this. But if he doesn't do this stuff, he'd regret it.
Everybody who has made free soloing a big part of their life is dead now.
I haven't been injured in like 7 years. I suddenly start getting injured all the time.
What if something happens? What if I don't see him again?
I could just walk away, but it's like, I don't want to.
I've always been conflicted about shooting a film about free soloing just because it's so dangerous. It's hard to not imagine your friend falling through the frame to his death.
I think when he's free soloing, that's when he feels the most alive, most everything. How can you even think about taking that away from somebody?
No mistakes tomorrow.
I'm starting to get kind of psyched.
If you're pushing the edge, eventually you find the edge.
I can't believe you guys are actually gonna watch.
Hey, Jimmy, do you copy? Just started climbing.
Free Solo. Showing November 2nd through the 8th at the Old Greenbelt Theatre.
The Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt Democratic Club is one of the oldest Democratic clubs in Prince George's County, active since 1976.
I think the club is awesome, but I'm a little biased in that regard. But I think it's just a really great way to get involved in the community and just get to know kind of the democratic process and really the electoral process in general.
The club meets monthly, and they often have a guest speaker. This month, it was Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh, currently running for re-election.
It's a year in which I think people are very troubled about our leadership in Washington. And we've been acting as a check on the Trump administration, but we've also been very active in protecting Marylanders right here. We're protecting consumers. We've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for them. We're protecting people from violent gangs, from drug traffickers, from human traffickers. And we're doing, I think, great work in shutting down sham charities.
Membership in the Democratic Club skews older, but Matthew Enzio would like that to change.
I'm here to get involved politically. I'm probably one of the youngest ones here, so I'm here to continue with them and be the next generation of Democrats.
The club meets at the Greenbrier Condominium Community Building.
Feel free to come by one of our meetings. Our dues are really low. They're only $10 per person and $5 for our more senior individuals as well as those who are students.
For details, visit rooseveltclub.com.
It's time to get involved.
Rob Petrie tracking for Andy Z. It's a Greenbelt Minute.
I am at the Utopia Film Festival today because they are screening my film, A Miracle a Day.
The 14th Greenbelt Utopia Film Festival, Prince George's County's first international film festival, started with a party to honor filmmakers, volunteers, and supporters of the arts.
I've never been to a festival this big, so it's just amazing to be able to see this many people that collectively love film and want to continue the spirit of it.
Any film festival that I'm accepted to, it's always a wonderful experience.
I like the energy of festivals, and it's great to have an audience and get reactions to the things you made.
The festival showcases independent films that take time to explore important contemporary issues.
The film that I wrote and produced is called The Chocolate Shop, and it's about a woman who suffers from Alzheimer's disease.
My film, Fighting Towards Story through Agent Ainsley, it's a story of a transgender woman who served in the Vietnam Wars.
The CEO of our company suffered a stroke, and with that, we're looking for ways of helping to spread the message of prevention.
Each year's festival is the end result of hundreds of hours of volunteer time. The time it takes to screen, schedule, exhibit, and just make things happen.
And just as it takes tenacity and courage to get out there and make a film, it's the same with organizing a festival.
This is our 14th year, and we look forward to many, many more, and welcome folks who might want to volunteer as well. Just see our website.
The festival thanks the City of Greenbelt, the Old Greenbelt Theatre, the Greenbelt Arts Center, and Greenbelt Access Television, the main sponsor of the Utopia Film Festival. Andy Z here with the Greenbelt Minute. On Sunday, October 7th, a hot fall afternoon, Greenbelters gathered to raise money for Democratic Gubernatorial Candidate Ben Jealous.
He's a progressive Democrat, has a background in civil rights and community organizing. Ben is for universal health care, $15 minimum wage, and fully funding education and paying teachers a living wage.
I first met him when I was working to ban fracking in Maryland, and we were marching side by side on Annapolis to get that ban passed. And it was before he announced his run, and I just remember him being extremely genuine and wanting to do good just for the working people and regular people in the state, like outside of corporate interests, outside of everything else, and that he could really make a difference.
Hey, honey, don't you cry no more.
Like most New Deal Cafe events, there is music and drumming. The ever-enthusiastic Joe Harris wrote a special song for the occasion.
Ben Jealous is a name that you ought to know when you cast your vote at the poll.
And there was a surprise visit by the candidate himself.
Is Mr. Ben Jealous?
We are building a movement that says we can finally fully fund our schools. Give our teachers a raise. We can build a robust, inclusive economy powered by green energy, in which moving to 100% reliance on green energy is our moonshot. And if they're not going to do it in Washington, well, we will get the Medicare for All revolution started here and pass Medicare for All.
The biggest deal is that he's really not taking any corporate donations. So this campaign is all about grassroots, small donations if you have anything to give, or if you don't have anything to give, then please come out and volunteer.
People can volunteer if they go online to benjealous.com. We have postcard parties, we have people knocking on doors, making phone calls. We know that if we get people out to vote, we win.
Andy Z here with the Greenbelt Minute.
When I'm not out here fishing, sometimes I'm watching Greenbelt Access Television.
Have any comments or questions? Please contact us at greenbeltaccess@gmail.com or give us a call at 301-507-6581.